Good day, everyone. Happy Sunday, if it is Sunday when you're watching this. Today is the 14th day of our 7 series, and it is the 7th day of our clearing and balancing. So we'll finish it off with another foot soak, as we've been going so well with the foot soaks. So we'll finish off this 7th day of balancing and focusing on the Sahasrara. Sahasrara being the chakra of integration. So it's quite interesting in that all the chakras are represented in our Sahasrara. So that's how they get integrated. You can feel everything that's going on with your whole subtle system once you go into your Sahasrara. So yesterday, of course, we did the Agya, and we'll a little bit more focus on the Agya in that we'll try not to be thoughtful, but we'll try to be thoughtless. If anyone has any questions about going forward, please unmute. Feel free to ask now. We can chit and chat a bit before we get started. Hopefully you've all got your foot soaks ready. Ice pack, I've already got mine in. So you can put your ice pack in just for the time that we're doing the foot soak and then take it out later. So it's just good to get a decent 5-10 minutes of the foot soak, of the ice pack in a cloth under your jumper. And of course, your foot soak lukewarm, or if you're feeling very cold like us in Canberra, you might have it quite warm. I've also got a candle, if we want to put the candle on the left side, keep it away from the right side, of course. And particularly if we've got too much thinking happening, you want to stay right away from the candle. So Gorshan's going to take us through the foot soak today, which is nice because we get to see her totally. And she can show us where we're putting our hands, etc., and doing the bandhans. And I've got quite a bit longer extract from a Sahasrara talk that Sri Mataji has given. Now, I can't remember the year, but we'll see that in a minute. And it's quite interesting. If we've got enough time, we'll see the whole 20 minutes. Otherwise, we'll, at an appropriate place, stop it at 10. But if we've got the time, we'll certainly listen to the whole thing because it's quite interesting. And it always gives you an even better meditation just from the vibrations of listening to the talk. So without me chatting too much more, the other thing I want to do is tell you what we're doing next week, in that we're going to, so this was the balancing. The first week, of course, we did the beginners, which was growing your awareness, getting established in Sahasrara. This week, we've been concentrating on clearing, and next week, we're going to concentrate on deepening and really going into what the incarnations and prophets told us or taught us at the different stages of our evolution. I mean, mainly about being in balance, but also the qualities that we wanted to abide by to evolve. So it's all about our own evolution as human beings and now as spiritual human beings. So I hope you've all been enjoying meditating every day together. I'm finding it really good. And it does really show you the benefit of meditating every day. So hopefully that's going to be a habit now going forward, because we're all in this together. So it's all of our responsibility now to evolve as spiritual beings and really deepen our connection to our spirit. So now, without too much more chitter chatter from me, I'll hand over to Gorshan and let's get meditating.
Okay. Good idea. So I hope everyone's got their ice pack, which we're going to place. Lynn does. It's interesting, Lynn mentioned today's Sahasrara, which is about integration. So we're also going to test that out on our hands tonight. So today, so when we sit down in our buckets, we're going to ask the vibrations to show us the catches that need to be cleared on our fingers collectively. So all of us that are connected through our devices together, we are also connected vibrationally, and let's enjoy the proof of that putting in our foot soak. So on to our foot soaks now. I hope everyone's got salt in their bucket. I can just do that now. My ice pack. So let's begin by raising a Kundalini and place ourselves in Bandhan. So the third time, let's raise the third Kundalini and place 3 knots on top of our head. I will take that ice pack off in case it falls. And then we place ourselves in Bandhan, starting from the left over to the right and back. So we do that 7 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So right hand over the bucket, as we have 2 ways, or there's lots of ways of doing it. You could either place both your hands over the bucket as Emmanuel showed us, or I usually have one hand towards the photograph and one hand over the bucket, and we just rotate clockwise 7 times. And we ask the Mother Kundalini to please vibrate the water so that it can suck and absorb all the negativity from our chakras and our channels. Okay. And let's place our feet in the water after we've taken our socks off. So in our buckets, hands in our lap, as much as you can, try and keep your eyes open. It's important when we're clearing to keep our eyes open. So just bring your attention inside and ask the mothering energy, the Kundalini, to please show us what chakras need to be cleared out on our fingertips, Mother Kundalini. We are connected to each other through the ether. Our vibrations and our Kundalinis are connected. So please guide us so we can all clear out collectively. So all our chakras reflect on our hands, and please guide us to clear out collectively. So the first one that we do is right hand in front of the Muladhara chakra, rotate in a clockwise direction. Sri Ganesha is the deity here, and he is the one that gives us the wisdom, the discrimination. And it's really important to have this chakra in a strong and healthy situation. And next week we will go more into detail about the qualities of each of the prophets that came on these chakras. So the Muladhara chakra, Mother Kundalini, please take away all the obstructions, all the negative energy that weaken the Muladhara chakra. Please, by your grace, Mother Kundalini, let my Muladhara chakra be clean and strong and healthy. And we flick that into the water a few times after we've rotated our hand. Hands in our lap. Lynn, I'm just wondering if you're able to place a photo of Shri Mataji. So I'll try and be a little bit more descriptive about our hands. And for those of us that don't have a photo of Shri Mataji at our altar, we can watch that on the screen. Thank you, that's lovely. I am feeling the thumbs quite strongly, and I wonder if there are other people that are on the Zoom with us feeling that as well. So we'll work on the 2 thumbs, which is the Swadhisthana chakra, which is just above the Muladhara chakra and underneath the belly button. So if you place your hand underneath the belly button, that is your Swadhisthana chakra in the center, and you place your right hand on that, left hand open, Mother Kundalini, You are the creativity within me. And you are the pure knowledge and the pure desire within me. Mother Kundalini, I surrender all my thinking, all my planning to you. Please take charge of my activities. Please take charge of things that are meant to be done, so I don't waste my time unnecessarily thinking and getting worked up about situations that I have no control over. Mother Kundalini, you are the creativity within me. I'll just rotate the hand a couple of times on the Swadhisthana chakra and flick it into the water. Let's do it again 7 times. And one more time. And let's see how you could just rub your hands together a little bit. And let's see how our hands feel now. The thumbs seem to have settled down. I'm feeling the middle fingers, which is the Nabi chakra in the center. So if you're feeling both the fingers, that means it's the center. So if it's the left finger, it's on the left side. If you're feeling the right finger, then we work on the right side. But if both the fingers happen to be feeling a little bit of tingly sensation, then we work on the center. So right hand comes on the belly button. Mother Kundalini, you are the balance within me. Mother Kundalini, you are the balance within me. Please establish and allow me and show me how to be in balance in my thoughts and in my deeds and in my actions. Please replenish this quality within me, Mother Kundalini. And let's now rotate our hand a couple of times on the Nabi chakra and flick the negative energy into the water. For the little fingers, let's place our right hand on the center heart. Mother Kundalini, you are my security, and you are my mother. And I know you love me, and I know you look after me. Please take away all my fear. Please take away all my sense of lack of security within me. Mother Kundalini, please establish yourself in my heart. Please let me establish my joy and the love in my heart. And we rotate a hand a couple of times, 7 times, and then we can flick that into the water. Mother Kundalini, please allow us to feel the state of our chakras and our channel on our hands. Please show me where my weaknesses are. And please take charge and clear them for me. Let's place our right hand on our forehead. And as you do that, just cradle your head into your hand. And let's say a few times, Mother Kundalini, I forgive everyone. Mother Kundalini, I forgive. Mother Kundalini, I forgive. Mother Kundalini, please establish the quality of forgiveness within me. Please establish good discrimination within me. Please manage me, Mother Kundalini. Please guide me. Please manage me. For in my freedom, I request you to please help me. Now just rotate your hand clockwise on the forehead a couple of times if your head feels a little bit heavy. Let's take away all of that pressure from the head and release it into the water. So as our ego and superego are placed on the sides of our head, let's place our right hand above the right ear and the left hand above the left ear. So this is where our ego and superego is. It's at the front and the back. It's also on the sides. So here, Mother Kundalini, please release the pressure from my ego and superego. As Lynn mentioned, all of the chakras that are on our spinal cord in our central channel, each of those chakras has their seat or their station on our head as well. So sometimes, if you can, it's good to apply a little bit of oil on your scalp and give it a good massage very gently. That feels very relaxing as well, as we're massaging the chakras on our Sahasrara on our head. But for now, placing our hands on the right and the left, just above the Mother Kundalini, please let my ego and superego be sucked down. Mother Kundalini, please release the pressure from my ego and my superego. Mother Kundalini, please let my thoughts for the future and my worries for the past be sucked down. I surrender my worries and I surrender my futuristic planning to you. And please guide me to be in the present. Mother Kundalini, please let me be in the present. Let's bring our hands back on the lap. And hopefully the head feels a little lighter now. So if you just bring your hands up a little bit towards the level of your heart, and we ask the mothering energy, Mother Kundalini, please show me the state of my chakras on my fingertips. So this is where we're trying to balance ourselves before we go into meditation. If you're feeling a little bit of weakness on the left side, let's, with our right hand, bring it over to the left. Raise the left side with your right hand. We did that earlier too. Raise it with your left side and bring it down to the right. So raising our left side and bring it down to the right. This strengthens our left side. Also helps with balancing the ego and the superego, and also cools down the right side. And the effect is very instantaneous. So it's really nice to feel the difference on your hand as soon as we do that. It's about 7 times. And now bring your hands back up, level of your heart, and see if that seems to have settled. The balance is equal in both the hands and you're not feeling too much tingling. You feel that gentle, cool breath on your palms. And remember to keep your eyes open. And now for the last one, let's place our right hand on the Sahasrara. So just bring your head forward a little bit. With good pressure, let's rotate our scalp clockwise direction. And here with all your heart, please ask the Mother Kundalini. And you can also ask Shri Mataji, for it is she who has given us our realization and allowed us to connect with the cosmic energy. So we can ask Shri Mataji to please let me feel presence of Mother Kundalini on my Sahasrara. Please let me be in present moment. Please let me feel the thoughtlessness within me. Please allow there to be space between my thoughts. Please cool down my thoughts, Mother Kundalini, and please let me feel your presence on my Sahasrara. Bring the right hand back onto our lap. Hands are feeling quite nice and clear now. So let us place our hands crossed on our agya, on our head, so that we can bring down the ego and the superego, uncross and sweep it down into the water. Let's do that 2 more times. Also from behind, from the Nadi chakra, the Swadhisthana, along the legs, sweep it into the water. And now if you happen to have some water, please rinse your feet. Remember to, again, vibrate the water 7 times. And we will place our buckets to the side while we continue with the rest of the program. And all yours now, Lynn.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's just enjoy that feeling in our Sahasrara for a moment. And then I will share with you the excerpt of Sri Mataji talking about detachment and being in thoughtless awareness. Just, we can close our eyes now with our attention on top of our head. Just see what's happening on top of our head, if you can feel any breeze blowing, warm or cool. And just try to maintain that feeling at Sahasrara while you're listening to the talk. You can, of course, open your eyes and watch the video. But just try to maintain that meditative state while we listen to talk from a Sahasrara.
Promise me that you will meditate every night, every evening, maybe in the morning also. Whenever it is possible, if you can go into meditative mood, you are in contact with this divine power. Then whatever is good for you, whatever good for your society, for your country, all is done by this divine power. You don't have to overpower the divine power. You don't have to order, you don't have to ask. Just if you meditate, you are one with this all-pervading power, which is another great blessings to us. Unless and until your sahasrara is open, all the blessings of the divine power cannot come to you. Cannot. Maybe you might get some money, you might get some jobs, you might get this and that. But your own development is only possible when you meditate and your sahasrara is completely open and open to truth. Now the truth is that this divine power is compassion, is love. This is the truth. They say God is love, God is truth. So the equation has to be made that truth is love and love is truth. But it's not a truth that as you have for your own children, you have for your family. Attached love is not truth. If you are attached to somebody, then you never see the bad points of that person. If you are angry with somebody, then you can never see the good points of that person. But it's a complete detached love. And that love is extremely powerful. Because that love to anyone, you will be surprised. The problems of that person will be solved. His personality will improve. Everything will work out in a very big way and his life will be changed. But if you are attached to anything whatsoever, that attachment itself causes problems and doesn't allow Sahaj to grow. This attachment could be any kind. For example, you can be attached to your country, attached to your society, attached to your family. It can be of any kind. But when sahasrara is open, you learn one thing is detachment. It just happens that you get detached. Though, you are not running away. As it is in Sahaja Yoga, we don't believe in people who run away from society and go to Himalayas, or that I call it as escapism. That is not the point. What happens is that you are there. You see everyone, you watch everyone, you know everyone, you are close to everyone, but you are a detached person. It's a state of mind that you achieve when sahasrara is open. Then that state you are dealing with people, you are dealing with problems, you are dealing with situations, but you are not involved in it. There's no involvement. And that involvement which you had before can never give a complete insight what is happening, what is the truth is about any situation. So this detachment helps. The greatest thing of the detachment is that you are not affected. No use saying that, oh, you are not affected, mother, so how can you feel for another person? How can you have compassion for another person? Because if you feel for another person, then only you can solve the problem. But this feeling that you have is again a kind of an attachment. It is not a real feeling because it doesn't help. The person is crying, you are also crying. The person is trouble, you are also in trouble. And this does not help that person, nor will it help you. So to have detached in no way means you do not feel the another person. You do feel. You feel the agony of that person, the trouble of that person, of the whole society sometimes. and of the whole country. But that your feeling is so detached that the all-pervading power takes over. First, we must have full faith in the capability of this all-pervading power. As soon as you are detached, you say, you do it. Finished. Once you say that you are going to do it, it's you who is going to do it. Whole thing changes completely because you transfer all your responsibilities, all your problems to this divine power which is so powerful, which is so capable, which can work out anything. So whenever you think that this problem you are going to solve, you are the one who is going to do it, then all right, the divine power. When we find that people are not so much attracted to Sahaja Yoga, they are few in number, then you feel very bad about it. But have you tried to meditate on this point, and have you tried to put this problem to the divine power? Why should we worry when we have divine power available through our Sahasrara? Why should we worry? Why should we think about it? Just leave it to the divine power. If that is possible, if that you can achieve, you see, which is very difficult for human beings because they live with their ego, they live their conditionings. But if that attachment to all these things goes away, then what you do is just leave things to this power. Krishna has said in his Gita, Sarva dharmanam parityajya mamekam sharanam vacha. Forget about all your dharmas. Dharmas meaning that we have a dharma of a wife, of a husband, of a member of the society. All of them have their own dharma. But he says, leave them and leave it them to me and I'll manage. This is it we have to learn, is to say that it's this divine power which will solve our problems. As human beings, it's a very difficult state. And this state only can be achieved through meditation. But I'm not saying that you go on meditating for hours together, not necessary. But with full faith in yourself and in the divine power. If you work it out, I'm sure it's not difficult to rise to that state of consciousness. That is what we have to achieve. It's possible for men as well as for women. They don't have to think, how can we mother do it after all? See, all such people are no good for Sahaja Yoga. Those who have diffidence about themselves cannot do anything. But those who are surrendered and those who think they can do it can manage all this transfer of their power to the divine power. Just put it on the divine power. Now supposing I have a car which can drive me down. So if I have a car, then I don't put bullocks on it, that I don't push my car. I just sit inside and use it. In the same way, if you have this great power around you, if your Sahasrara is absolutely, completely submerged in it, then you will be amazed how things work out for yourself. I will give you an example of Sahaja Yogi. He is no more now. He was a fisherman, ordinary fisherman, but also he was educated, so he was working in a bank. This one was going one day to do some Sahaja Yoga work, and he had to go by boat. So when he came out, he saw the whole place was clouded and it was about to burst out into a big havoc. So he got very much perturbed about it, that what is this? Immediately his Sahasrara was so open and good. Immediately he said, now I leave it to this divine power to stop all these things happening. I don't want it to rain and to have any problem till I come back home and go off to sleep. And it was surprising. People told me That mother, the clouds and everything were there all throughout, but it did not rain, did not do anything, and there was no chaos of any kind. He went to another island where he had to go, he did Sahaja Yoga and came back. And then when he went to sleep, then only everything started pouring down. So nature, everything, every leaf, every flower, everything is worked out through the divine power. So we should not have our ego that we can do something ourselves, we can manage ourselves. Once you have that kind of a thing, you are not yet that much developed, you are not that much grown up in Sahaja Yoga. But to grow up in Sahaja Yoga should not be difficult for you, because you have guidelines. Those people who got their realization, very few of them, like Sufis, and we had some saints in India, all of them. How much they must have struggled. Nobody to guide them, nobody to help them, nobody to tell them about what they can achieve. And despite that, they were very satisfied people, very happy people, and they worked it out so well. They saw the whole world with another angle, as you can also see. But they were not upset, and they had such self-confidence. They had such knowledge of their own that they achieved through their meditative process. And the way they have written books, some of them are so great. It's very surprisingly how they have achieved these great verses, such full of knowledge. One cannot understand that they had no guidance, nobody was to tell them. But one thing with them was that they always tried to look after their sahasrara. Now one thing is there obstructing sahasrara is the movement of your agya into thoughts. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that stops your entry into Sahaja Yoga. Thoughts are coming all the time. Because a human being is born who reacts to everything. React to this and react to that, and the thoughts come in and thoughts go. There's a big crowd of thoughts. Because of that, your attention cannot cross over agya and can reside in the sahasrara. So first of all, one should see what sort of thoughts are coming. You have to condemn yourself sometimes. You have to say, what nonsense, what have I been doing? What's the matter with me? How could I do all that? Once you start doing that, these thoughts will start disappearing. These thoughts are coming from two angles, one from the ego and another from your conditionings. And these are so much built up within you that they don't allow your agya to be crossed. That's why we have two bija mantras of Ham Ksham. First one is, when it is conditioning, you are endowed with this kind of a fear. I shouldn't do like this, I shouldn't do like that, it is not allowed, that is not allowed. That's the conditioning part of it. Conditioning can be of many types. But the ego part of it is that I must overpower everybody, I must get this, I must be able to rule everyone. These two things are there in the mind, which are all the time crossing. So it's important that we should go into thoughtless awareness. And that thoughtless awareness is the real way that your sahasrara can be nourished by the Kundalini. Because Kundalini cannot go through, it cannot pass through. And for that, as I said, there are two bija mantras. One is Ham, another Ksham. So if you are conditioned, you are frightened, you are afraid, and you had ideas about yourself. These days, the way people are describing, they'll say, I'm an extrovert. Somebody will say, I'm an introvert. Somebody will say, I'm hippie, I'm that. All kinds of things they can have attributed to themselves. But these ideas are all coming from outside. They are not from inside. To get to the inner side of yourself, the subtler side of your being, you must allow the Kundalini to go through the Agya. To cross the Agya is a very important thing in modern times. And for that, you have to meditate. If you can meditate with complete faith in yourself, this Agya can be opened up with surrendering to the Divine. You have to surrender yourself to the Divine. And when this Agya opens, you'll be amazed. Your Sahasrara is just waiting to transfer, to give you all the help that you need through the all-pervading power. Your connection of Sahasrara with the all-pervading power is established. And by that, you will be amazed how all these 7 chakras work for you, how they help you, how they try to give you whatever is the real knowledge about everything. This real knowledge that you get is very joy-giving. You can see this real knowledge in everything. You don't have to start reading any book about it. In every situation and in every person, in every flower, in every natural happening, you see clearly the hand of the Divine. Once you see the hand of the Divine, your ego starts disappearing. Once you say that it's you do everything. Kabira has said something great about this. He said that when the goat is alive, it goes on saying, I am, I am. But when it is slaughtered and its intestines are made into strings which are used for cleaning the cotton, then it said, tu hi, you are. See, in this symbolic way, they have suggested that you have to become dissolved into this divine power. It's the divine power that does everything. What am I? I was just a drop, and I fell into this ocean of awareness of the divine power. And that is taking over and working it out. That will help you a lot to be a great surgeon. You develop curing powers, but still you are not proud of it. You developed, of course, awakening powers, you are not proud of it. You develop so many creative powers, and you are not proud of it. You become really very, very creative, extremely creative. But the greatest thing happened to you that you become a global personality. So you start seeing the problem of every country, of every other nation where they have problems. But these problems, when you see, you don't see like other people, because others may like to use it for their own purpose, maybe for media, maybe for something. What you want to see is that these problems are solved. See, your powers are so great with this kind of a mind, I would say, which is dominated completely by the divine power, that whatever disturbs you immediately is taken over and it starts working out. Many problems have been solved by surgery. And also they can be solved on a very universal level. If you are a global person, then what happens is that you become a sort of a vehicle, or you can become like a channel for this divine power to act, because you are purely a global personality. Not attached to this, attached to that, but a pure Sahaja personality, which can be used by this divine power very.
That was very nice. Let's maintain that feeling. Let's just close our eyes. With our hand, just take our attention, our Kundalini up onto the Sahasrara, just raising it up a couple of times to keep our attention up. And then palms open on your lap. Attention in your Sahasrara. Let's try and dissolve our mind into our divine power on the top of our head. You can take your hand onto your forehead. Just rest your forehead in the hand. We can say that bija mantra, hum sham, 3 times. Hum sham, hum sham, hum sham. And then bring the hand up, just pushing the center of your palm onto the fontanelle bone area, rotating it. Mother Kundalini, please keep me in your divine lotus at the Sahasrara. The 1,000 petals, the 1,000 powers of the Sahasrara. Keep me connected to that all-pervading divine love, the top of my head. Bringing the hands down. Slowly opening our eyes, let's finish the meditation with our sequence for raising our Kundalini with our hands. Second time, 2 knots. And third time, 3 knots. And our bandhan starting from the left side over and back. 7 times. I think that was 7. So I hope you all had a nice meditation. Just over the next couple of days, try and analyze, not too strongly, but just if ever there's something that's making you think about it, just make a note, either write it down or mentally make a note of what things it is that are taking you into thinking about them. And then we'll try to leave them to the divine. So we'll, all those things that are making us think, let's just have a look what it is that's making us go into thinking too much and see if we can just detach ourselves from them by surrendering the result instead of trying to solve them. So that's our homework for the next couple of days. So we'll come back to that over the next few days. So of course this is the last day of our clearing section of the 3 lots of 7 days. We're going into the deepening. So if you can in your own time do a foot soak, that would be a good thing. And then we can do our deepening lunchtime. Well, our lunchtime, but for you it might be a different time. And of course, if anyone has any questions, feel free to pop something in the, either unmute and ask, or just pop something in the chat and then we'll definitely get back to you. And of course, your resources at the website. If you want to see where there are any classes on in the world or in your state, you can find that on the website. We'll put up that slide in a minute. So if anyone has any questions, feel free. Gulshan?
No, I thought this talk from Srimataji was stunning today. As we were watching and listening to the talk, I felt my mind go completely blank, and it was such a lovely space to be in. So thoroughly recommend if anyone else is able to watch that talk later and experience that silencing of the mind. Lynn, we seem to have lost you a little bit. I can't hear your voice. Looks like we may have some issues with, Lynn did have some issues with her connectivity this morning. So if there's nothing else, thank you very much to all for joining, and we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Please keep foot soaking and meditating, and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Thank you everyone for joining. For now, we'll say goodbye.